Hello YouTubers, I'm back to post the next video here. Just kind of on a whim, I was watching some videos this afternoon, and every time I start watching all your guys' videos out there, it always gets me really excited, makes me want to go dive into my collection and make another video. So just thought I'd pull out 2 or 3 artists this time and just kind of share those 3 artists, just another video in a series of videos. So I want to show you my Bob Dylan collection. So I don't have a huge collection, but I have some of the good, decent core stuff, I guess. Let's start with the tapes here, actually. We got it's upside down. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 2 cassette. Highway 61 Revisited on cassette. And Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. And on CD we got Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 3. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. The one and only Blind on Blind. And then we got Highway 61 Revisited. So those are my Bob Dylan CDs. As far as vinyl goes, got Bob Dylan, Oh Mercy. This is a fair album. Best song on here is definitely Most of the Time. If you remember the movie High Fidelity, when he got into that fight with his girlfriend and kind of took off, this was the song that was playing in the background. Really cool, kind of slow, vintage Bob Dylan stuff. So that's Oh Mercy. Then we got Bob Dylan, Infidels. Favorite song on this album, this came out in '83, I believe, is definitely Joker Man. Once again, just vintage Dylan there. If you've never heard of that song, make sure you go check it out. Bob Dylan, Desire. Again, not one of my favorite Dylan albums, but I really like the song Hurricane on this album, so that's a good one to check out if you're not familiar with it. I'm sorry, I'm bending down trying to set the albums very gently on the floor. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 2. That just has all his, all his classic stuff on there. Memphis Blues Again, Lay Lady Lay. You pretty much name it, it's all on there. So again, vintage Dylan. Then we got Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. This has Rainy Day Woman, Blowing in the Wind, At Times Are Changing, Mr. Tambourine Man, Like a Rolling Stone. Anything you can want from Bob right there. And the classic, of course, I've shown this before in another video. This is a sealed copy of Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde, original issue, not a reissue. And I also have the one with the Claudine cover, which I've shown in another video too, but I didn't pull that one out. Then we got Highway 61 Revisited. And the last of my still got 2 more. We got Free Willing. And the very last one here, just Bob Dylan. So that's my Dylan collection. And then I wanted to really quickly share my Roxy music collection. I just showed that one of my 80s videos, so you've already seen Avalon. Actually, I think I've shown this one in a video too. Roxy Music, Country Life. This is a newer one I got not too long ago. Sorry about the glare. Roxy Music, Siren. Pretty decent album. The really cool thing about this album, I think it came out in like the mid-'70s, and you can tell these guys were definitely ahead of their time because this is definitely a mid to late '80s type of, I wouldn't say alternative rock type album, but you can definitely tell these guys were way ahead of their time doing in the mid-'70s what wouldn't really come around mainstream until the mid-'80s. And here's Roxy Music first album. I love that cover. That's just so cool. But that's a really good album too. As you can see, I always keep track of all the good songs on there. Pretty much every single track is labeled. I would say a good 7 out of the 10 tracks on there are what you consider to be good tracks. So that's my Roxy Music. And the last thing I want to share here is my David Bowie. Let's start with the cassettes. Got David Bowie, Let's Dance. I'm just going to insert them back here as I go through them. Then you have David Bowie, Never Let Me Down. Again, sorry about the glare, guys. Then we have David Bowie, Diamond Days, the Diamond Dogs, I'm sorry. Then we had David Bowie, Young Americans. Just got a real good copy of that album, which I thought was a good copy, and he ended up having so many scratches and pops. I just gave it to Goodwill. I got to get a new one of those. Station to Station, David Bowie. And then we have Changes 1, David Bowie. Changes 2, David Bowie. Guess I can stop saying David Bowie now. Hunky Dory, which is another vinyl I'm really looking to get my hands on. I don't have this one in my collection yet. Starting Point. And Tin Machine. Not my favorite album, but it's still Bowie and has some decent stuff on there. But let those cassettes, too, be a lesson of why you should check out Goodwill. So I got every single one of those Bowie cassettes at a local Goodwill for 25 cents a piece. So, and then as far as the vinyl goes, we have David Bowie here. This has the song Ashes to Ashes in Fashion. And then you got Let's Dance. I just showed that in my 80s alternative video. I've also shared David Bowie Low. Again, very good album there. David Bowie Changes 1. A lot of good hits on there. Ziggy Stardust, Space Odyssey, Diamond Dogs, Rebel Rebel, Young Americans Fame. Awesome album. David Bowie Live. This was back in '74, so most of the hits that he had at that time, some pretty good live versions on here with Rebel Rebel and a few other things. What else was good on here? Or Changes, of course. And then Rock and Roll with Me. So yes, definitely some good tracks on there. David Bowie Diamond Dogs. That's a classic. And last but not least, definitely one of my favorite Bowie albums, Ziggy Stardust. One of the last albums I really experienced with David Bowie, but ended up being one of my favorites. So, as always, YouTubers, thanks for watching. Just a real quick video to flash some stuff on the screen, and I'll see you guys soon.